I guess I'm good, so it's on you.
All right. Okay.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of
Ghost of Frankenstein.
My son, would you destroy that which I, your father, dedicated his life to creating? What if it had another brain?
Whose brain?
Your brain.
Bollock! What good is a brain without eyes to see?
I warned you that you might regret this action.
Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. What did I say I am? I'm Ralph Bellamy? I'm Rexford Bellamy Evenson.
And I'm Rexford Bellamy Lang, and you join us for minute 17.
But what's weird is you're Rexford Bellamy hyphen Lang, if I'm not mistaken.
Bellamy
whereas my
hyphen.
middle name is Bellamy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not related.
That's the
anything.
distinction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Ralph and Earl weren't related.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We are at minute 17. Now Ludwig is at his desk.
Yep, that's what this movie's about.
True to the
Ludwig at his fucking desk.
True to the subtitles, there's a knock at the door.
Nope, knocking on Ludwig's door.
Yep, knocking on Ludwig's door. Elsa and Ernst enter.
I mean, it's a common refrain this week. So this is the first knock on the door.
It's first knock on the door and the first sitting at the desk of this minute, but not the last.
Well, he was sitting at the desk last minute, but we talked very briefly about it.
It was just a couple seconds.
Do we start over?
No.
Okay.
Elsa and Ernst enter. Ludwig is glad to see them.
Yeah, and Elsa looks and sounds better. I mean it. If you go back and watch 16, she looks puffy and she sounds bad.
Yeah, I didn't make note of that, but I did when we saw it just now, this minute. Yeah, she does look a little more her
She's
usual.
Beautiful. She always looks great. I'm not trying to say she looks like shit.
She's always gorgeous, I've always had a thing for her since I was
so
a
does
kid.
Greg Mank, to the point of it being creepy.
It is a little...
He's creepy about a lot of chicks. And I think I hate to make this the anti-Mank podcast.
No, not at all.
I hope that fucker... No, I'm just kidding. No. Not at all. But it's almost creepy the way he talks about Evelyn in particular.
It is.
I think probably Weaver is equally...
enamored, creepy, stalker-esque.
I was going to say creepy. I wish there was I'm looking for a synonym for creepy that doesn't mean creepy quite.
He's pulling a Weinstein.
But still, he manages to make it clear, like say in a commentary, that he thinks that the woman in the movie is lovely without making it sound creepy.
Like creepy, yeah.
And even when it does sound creepy, it sounds like a joke.
Yes.
So I think he's got a cool style in that way, and that Mank doesn't. To Mank just sounds a little creepy to me.
Well, he doesn't have the sense of humor, I think, that Weaver does.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Weaver, I was talking, or one of the last things I posted, or I think on Facebook before I was banned, and then I decided, fuck you, I'm done, was the scripts from the Crypt series that Weaver is doing at Bear Manor Media. And the last two releases were The Mummy's Hand and The Mummy's Tomb. Mm-hmm. And I had commented that, boy, I wish they would redo the Magic Image books with this level of detail. And I also could add with the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
Because it's clear that he loves these movies as much as we do, but he has a sense of fun. A sense of humor about it. Mm-hmm. His commentary for The Wolfman, it was the first time I heard him. I mean, I read him for years, but I think that was one of the first commentaries he did. And I'm like, I could sit and talk to that guy for days.
That's true, and it's like you're talking to him. He's also
very conversational about it.
Yeah, it's clear that he's prepared.
Right.
But he's really good at a commentary. That's why he's doing them all the time. There's a new one for you right there.
Wong,
I brought the Mr. Wong collection. Weaver finds a way to poke fun at the things that need poking fun at while still expressing a very obvious love for these films.
And I try to do that. I don't know that I'm successful.
No, we're failing miserably.
Yeah, I think we maybe sound negative sometimes, and I really don't mean to.
I don't know.
Because I wouldn't be devoting the sheer amount of time that I am to this if I did not love these movies.
Exactly.
There's some trivial back and forth.
Ludwig has a bust of a Sleestack in his office. Actually, I thought it looked like a Sleestack.
Is it the one that's kind of in the back corner by the door?
And then I realized the reason I think it looks like a Sleestack is I didn't realize that the head is turned slightly to the right.
Yeah, it is.
And so I thought it was a big eye, but it was part of its hair or something.
You know what happens, though? If you flip that head back, there's a button.
There's a button inside.
You push and the bookcase opens up. And
actually,
Ludwig is actually Batman.
Actually,
I don't
in
know
a couple of weeks, there's a bust that looks more like
there
that.
is. Yeah, there is. Yeah.
All right.
There's some trivial back and forth, some misogynistic small talk.
Well, he says...
Has she also been mistreating you?
Bellamy doesn't shine in this scene,
no,
but it's hard for him to do it, so I don't know. But he's expected to stand there while Hardwick says, delighted, in his typical Hardwick,
delighted to see
overblown way. He says,
effusive in his joy at seeing.
Delighted to see you.
I think he suffered some kind of palsy and his face has been immobilized. I'm not sure.
That's got to be it. Bellamy is expected to just stand there and blink, and that's what he does. That's his response. He blinks a couple of times, and then Hardwick says, "You look worried.
Yeah.
Elsa been treating you badly?" And then Bellamy comes to life and says, "No, not at all, sir." And then Hardwick says, "Well, be patient. Wait till you're married.
Just wait."
Which I don't know if that's misogynistic or not at all.
Battle axe will. No, I think it is.
But I think it's a great line. I do. I really like that line. I think it's the funniest thing in this movie.
Well, I guess it's the only funny thing in the movie.
Well,
but
Dino said that the lightning scene was played up as a joke.
I don't think it was played as. I don't think it was deliberately played as a joke.
I don't know if it was deliberate, but it
definitely plays off as funny.
It's like a joke, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's that typical. Oh, your wife's an old battle axe, and
I don't see it that way. I think that's too.
Find any of that ever funny?
Okay, I generally don't, but in this case, I don't think it goes that far. It's just you know what it is. It's probably because I'm sexist.
Yeah, that's their example. Well, it's like,
I think it's a great line, but it's delivered as dryly as an Uber Eats driver delivering instant mashed potatoes to T.E. Lawrence.
Nice! Wow.
What could be drier than that?
How long did it take you to come up with that? That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. Did you have
just off the top of my head?
Yeah. Bruce Valanche write that for you?
Bruce Valanche, yes. He's been looking for work, and I said, "Hey,
Frankenstein minute first that he's come up."
There you go.
And probably the last.
No, I don't know about that.
Doctor, we have a madman in the jail.
Yeah, Ludwig doesn't seem bothered by the term madman.
No.
And in his line of work, I could see it going either way.
We prefer the term.
Yeah, I can totally see him saying that because he's actually very respectful of mental illness in the movie.
It's also 1942.
It's also 1942.
So words like that were probably still common parlance.
Yeah, he's more of a Nurse Ratched school of treating mental illness. Yeah. And is he a madman? All he did is go get her ball.
Yeah.
He has a criminal brain. He accidentally killed a couple people. Guy came at him. Well, we saw him kill one guy, two, right?
Guy comes running up the stairs at him.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he gets.
Does he die? He hits the railing.
Evidently, that railing just
fucking nailed him.
Snapped his spine.
Snapped his
like that.
Everything broke.
Snapped it like kindling. And the other guy,
the other dick,
was thrown off the roof of the archway. Yeah,
he gets clocked by. Actually, he wasn't killed by Cheney. He was killed by Gil Perkins, right?
That's right. Eddie Parker.
I'm always going to do that.
I was going to say Eddie Powell, but that was...
I always get my Eddie Powell mixed up with my...
Eddie Powell was Chris Lee's double for most of the Hammer stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's I get confused.
Don't we all?
Yeah. I mean, it's an obvious mistake.
That's obvious mistake. Yeah. He has a criminal brain, though. So
he does,
he's
yes.
a madman.
Madman. We have he's a madman. Come down and examine him and advise. Mm-hmm. And Ludwig kind of brushes this off. Well, I got way too much to do.
Absolutely, Eric. I got shit to do.
Yeah. Oh, but it's urgent. He's killed 2 villagers.
So this is why I think it hasn't been a whole day. I don't think it would take a whole day because Igor walks into the town and is told, he's at the other end of the street here. I don't know. I guess I'd be thinking ahead, but Igor's going to show up soon, and it just seems to me that it's probably the same day.
Fine.
Because he says it's urgent, so he wouldn't have slept on it.
I really don't care one way or the other.
Elsa's had enough time to get her nasal congestion all
She went and did the, what is that?
Flonase?
Flonase, yeah.
There you go.
We have him chained. If he gets loose, he'll tear down the building.
Well, wait a minute.
Did I miss
it? No, you're right. That's right. Tear down the building. Yeah. And then, actually, I like Ludwig's response.
That's rather an exaggeration.
Like his dry Ludwig way, where
that actually works well here. Yeah, sure.
Just wait till you get married. I like the whole thing.
Just re-edit it. It's his answer to everything.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a bad brain. Just wait till you get married.
Wait till you get married. Does it? Okay, so then he says, okay, you go ahead.
Well, he just says, no, indeed, sir. He's huge. A monster.
Which I like, because that's an improvement from the script. In the script, he says something slightly different. He says something like, not as much as you might think, sir. So he says it's an exaggeration. Well, not as much as you might think, sir. It's like he's conceding something, where in this case, he's like, no,
you're fucking, you gotta come see this guy.
Yeah, this is some serious business. So does it occur to Ludwig at this point that he knows somebody that matches his description?
I don't think so. I don't think it occurs to him till he sees Igor.
I must reference the script where he actually, I should have written
Well, okay,
this
but the movie doesn't. Yes.
No, the movie is not the script. I agree. Who is it? Also, come in, Father Eric, was a madman in the jail. This is rather a slight exaggeration, isn't it? And then Eric says, not as much as you think, Doctor. The man is huge, a monster. We want you to examine him and advise us. So same thing. Interior study, close-up, Frankenstein. As he looks at Eric, puzzled, a momentary thought flashes across his brain. It could not be. And then he says, I will be down just as soon as possible, Eric. So
yeah, but see, none of that.
At least in the script, which I don't know how they whoever wrote the script expected that to. I guess you could. You do a close up and then he kind of his eyes are looking around.
Looks off to the side.
A monster, you say? Eh? He wasn't green by chance, was he?
Flathead.
Flathead.
Couple of bolts in his neck.
Did you see Pepsi bolts?
Yeah, nobody ever comments on any of that. That's what I find is so weird, especially in
he wasn't covered with sulfur, was he?
Scene coming up in a few weeks where nobody comments on how just silly the whole situation is.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and he's a monster. Never seen anything like him. He's green. He smells of sulfur.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, I'll come down later.
But it actually seems reasonable at this point to think the monster could come back. Maybe because we do this minute by minute. Yeah. But he does this a lot, where he gets killed. There's no chance he's anything but dead. 7 times. And then he comes walking out.
Just fine, not a scratch.
He's totally fine. Yeah. Brush off the sulfur. Yeah.
Never seen anything like him. And Ludwig gives the same response that he did a few lines back. Yeah, I'll come down later.
Yeah.
And that seems like Eric is like, yeah, great, that's excellent.
I see why you might say it that way, but what he says is, thank you, sir, I'll be expecting you, which to me is like him saying, yeah, okay, fine. All right, fine. I hope you mean it. I'm expecting you. You know what I mean?
I just think he doesn't push it any further.
He doesn't push it any further because he already looks like a jackass. Oh, he's going to tear the building down. No, I'm sure he's going to tear the building down.
Yeah. Just calm down there, Nancy.
Come on, Jesus Christ! It's not like there's a lever that he can pull.
Blow them all to atoms.
Blow us all to atoms.
E&E exit.
So I wrote. First I gotta say anchors. I do call her anchors. I guess I'm not. I hope that doesn't sound like I'm buying into the battle axe thing, and she's like a big boat anchor. But anchors puts bulls to shame, because this is how you look back and forth between two actors.
Yeah, while when you have nothing to do but react.
Yeah, and so she actually reacts. So so Eric says he's already killed 2 villagers, and we're afraid he's gonna blow us all to atoms. Yeah. And she actually reacts to this. She doesn't have anything to do, but she's in the center of the shot. Yeah, this movie uses very traditional sort of framing most of the time, and then surprises you with something cool, like with the shadow on Krog's face the other day. Yeah. The piano hasn't happened yet, but it's next week, I think. Yeah. Rather than just stand there like a bowls, she actually reacts to him saying, "Oh my God, he's killed 2 people! Wow, Jesus Christ!"
To not sound like a mank or anything, it is hard to not look at her in shots. She's very easy on the eyes.
She's very easy on the eyes, and so is he, Bellamy. Let's give him credit where due. Hey, and Hardwick's not completely bald yet. I don't know why that makes someone unattractive, but it does.
Well, we'll find out in a few years between us. Right?
I gotta say, I wish it was more like a few minutes for some of us. And then another knock.
Ludwig sits back down, so we're exactly where we were.
He's going to finish up his coloring book. He's busy.
He's doing his Sudoku for.
There you go.
Or Wordle or whatever.
Wordle. He's doing today's Wordle.
He's knocking at another door. He's come in. Here, who enters?
This time he says come. Yeah. Actually, he said come in before, but this time he says come.
Well, see,
it's the servant door.
Servant door.
It's a different door.
Yes.
That door, you just say come. Yeah. You can't be bothered with the 2-syllable response.
Right. And the maid, who is identified as Martha,
Doris Lloyd,
is played by Doris Lloyd.
Yep.
Who looks nothing like the Goose Girl. I cannot remember. Janet Warren, was that her name? Something Warren.
It was something Warren, and
Yeah.
but now you said Janet. I'm thinking of Janet Ann
Yeah, I
Gallo,
am
so
too,
I don't know
but I
if
don't
it's
remember.
Janet Warren.
Sorry.
But that's close enough.
Sorry, everyone.
Lyle Warren. Earl Warren.
Earl Warren, yes. Well, we made that joke before.
Yes.
Doris Lloyd, who we said misidentified as the Goose Girl, born July 3rd, 1896 in Liverpool.
Did we make this clear enough to people? The Goose Girl is lovely.
Yes.
She looks like about
She's like
20
18,
years old. Yeah.
18 years old.
She's a lovely, beautiful woman, and Doris Lloyd, it looks like her grandma. And
I mean,
so
she's
it's
not unattractive, but
Yeah, it's fine, so it's fine.
she's a mature, matronly looking woman.
and especially here, I actually thought of the word matronly while I was watching it, and I didn't write it down. But yeah, if you had to draw matronly, you would draw this woman.
her or Margaret Dumont. Yeah, take your pick.
Yeah, she's got a Dumont-esque kind of. My boobs are made of steel, and they have a single. I have one boob, and it's a
Dr.
shelf that I
Frankenstein.
can set things on.
No one asked for a monster. You put that right back.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And she was in such Marx Brothers classics as...
No. She died in May 21st, 1968 in Santa Barbara, 76 years old. She looks like
California, a lot of people die there.
That's apparently a very dangerous
place.
Barsky, get out while you can. Dino got out.
Dino got out.
Where the fuck was it? 2000
films?
No, what am I looking at? 203 credits, 1920 to 1967.
That's a lot.
Waterloo Bridge for James Whale with the always lovely Mae Clark. Tarzan the Ape Man
with the always lovely
Johnny Weissmuller. And Maureen O'Sullivan. And in the sequel, you see you see pretty much everything. Because there's a famous nude swimming scene in Tarzan and his mate. Study in Scarlet, which is the film I saw Olaf Huyten in that I was talking about from the 30s.
Husman and Martha.
It's a reunion. This movie is a reunion.
It's a reunion for them.
The Man Who Reclaimed His Head. It's in Universal Horror's book, Claude Rains. It is not a horror movie in any way, shape, or form, which I found out when I was about 13 or 14 and was massively disappointed. The title sounds fantastic.
Right.
Mutiny on the Bounty, the Clark Gable and Charles Laughton version. Jekyll and Hyde.
Is that any good?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Jekyll and Hyde, the Spencer Tracy version.
Okay, not the Frederick March version.
Keep Em Flying with Bud and Lou.
Oh, wow.
She's in The Wolfman.
Gosh.
Everybody's in The Wolfman.
They're required to be in it.
Night Monster.
Was Olaf or whatever from last...
Olaf Huyten? Yeah, uncredited. He's in the church.
You're lying? Or
I am.
Oh, okay.
Night Monster. Lugosi's in that, as is Ralph Morgan, who I talked about last week. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
We'll have to keep an eye out.
Yes, we will.
She probably plays Martha
the maid.
Yeah.
Flesh and Fantasy, which is another one that's in Universal Horrors. I have not actually seen that, so I cannot speak to it.
The Goose Girl is my favorite in that one.
Is she? Yeah.
Yeah, she plays the Goose Girl.
Does she? The Lodger, which is not the Hitchcock.
Oh. The Doctor Who episode.
Yes, and a movie that apparently everybody who was working in Hollywood was in at the time, The Invisible Man's Revenge, because it's come up. This is like the fourth time.
I already can't remember which one Revenge is. Is that the Vincent Price one?
No, that's
Returns.
Return. Yeah.
So Revenge is.
I know I've seen it, but
some guy. I think it's
some guy who ends up you can't see him.
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy.
But he's also, I think in that one, if I'm not mistaken, he's actually the grandson of the original.
Yeah, something like that.
Invisible Man. So there is at least a tie to it, but it's tenuous. Yeah. Those Invisible Man or the Invisible sequels. It's a tenuous connection at best.
Yes.
It's just they've got the special
Yeah, because then you get the Invisible Woman, which has nothing to do with any of it.
Right.
The Invisible Agent, which is a World War II sort of.
And even The Invisible Man Returns. Now I'm going to sound like an idiot, but is that even a sequel?
Yeah.
Is it him? It's supposed to be.
No, it's not him, but it's like his brother.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
It's been a long time. The House of Fear, Sherlock Holmes. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, with of course Boris Karloff is in that. Yep. The Son of Dr. Jekyll. That's come up, I believe.
Really, I never heard
Olaf
of it.
Huyten or somebody was in that.
Okay.
One Step Beyond is she was in an episode or two of that.
Okay.
The Time Machine is a movie I really enjoy, and The Sound of Music, which is a movie I really don't enjoy.
Oh no.
So yeah, sorry.
Directed by the same guy who directed The Body Snatcher.
Yes, and Day the Earth Stood Still, and Star Trek: The Motionless Picture, and
West Side Story.
Yeah, West Side Story. I'm not a big musical guy, so.
I see. So what does Martha say?
Man is in the waiting
There's
room.
a man in the waiting room to see you, Doctor.
I paraphrased, yeah.
And Frankenstein replies, and a very welcome one, too.
Yes. He says it's urgent, and
he comes from the village.
Well, first Ludwig says, "Well, wait till he gets married."
There you go, perfect. There you go.
Yeah, he pretty much ignores her.
There's a man in the waiting room to see you, Doctor. Wait till you're married.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Excuse me? What is that supposed to mean?
He comes. Wait till he gets married. He comes from the village of Frankenstein. So he comes from the village of Frankenstein, and this gets a reaction from I almost called him Wolf, from Ludwig, who's now got his Coke bottom glasses on, or he always had them on.
He has them
He's definitely got them on.
He takes
here.
them off on occasion.
But here he actually gets a close-up with him. That's the point of it. He comes from the village of Frankenstein. So who is it? Is it Krog? That's what his first thought is. It's got to be Krog.
Oh, shit. Now what?
God, I hope it's not safe for tits.
I've come from...
the monster. He is with me.
He's with me.
He is with me.
How does it feel?
Singing.
How does it feel to meet a man you thought your brother never met?
Your brother killed. Yeah, your brother never met.
And that's what I got.
That's what you got. Well, it's just in time because as you'll know, the sound of this thing happening means something happened. And
any more questions, wise ass?
It's time for Got Any More Questions, Wise Ass, brought to you as usual by patreon.com/Frankenstein Minute, where you can go and leave comments and post comments, and that's all you can do.
Say comments and
it's your job is to post comments
and read comments.
Fuck you! I don't want to pay anymore.
Well, don't be saying that.
This and our first comment is not from Patreon. It's from the Classic Horror Film Board. Yes, that's right. It's Rick again.
Okay, setting us straight about something. I'm
no
sure.
doubt. Chapter 2. Good stuff, Gemmons.
All right.
He spells it Jemmuns, which sounds like something Donnie would say. Does he say Gemmin? Or no, he says General.
He was a big gentleman.
Yes. When Tom suggests that Ghost is the shortest film in the series, I'm ready to pounce because, of course, I know everything in the world, and I'm sure he's mistaken, but he's not.
Yeah.
Ghost is 67
I did my fucking homework.
House of Frankenstein is 71, and House of Dracula is 67, so it's a tie.
Well, okay.
Ghost just seems so much longer. I can't disagree there.
I don't know. This movie flies by pretty quick.
So then the next thing, Tom Weaver reveals the script called for a blank-faced monster. Oh, okay. I know the Classic Horror Film Board scroll of life on Ghost is daunting, but Tom Weaver reveals on page 94 that the script calls for a blank-faced monster. This not only offers some forgiveness to Chaney's performance, it also totally blows my theory out of the water. I had ventured the notion that Chaney was unhappy with all the makeup and peeved to be following in Karloff's footsteps and that this unhappiness showed up in his non-performance. He also says, I'm not ready to totally forgive Creighton. I mean, there's blank face and then there's blank face, but I'll give him some leeway.
Yeah, I think Buster Keaton shows more emotion.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
But he does.
That's a really good point.
He does.
He's the stone face.
He's the great stone face, but you watch some of those films and he, without doing very much with his face, shows an enormous range of...
I just watched 2 minutes of Buster Keaton that somebody posted recently because someone had posted a joke thing about this woman doesn't realize she's standing in line behind two mannequins. It was like in a department store.
Yeah.
And then they posted 2 minutes of Buster Keaton doing it, and it's fucking fantastic.
Yep.
He also mentions on the Classic Horror Film Board we should check out, this is something we already know about, the extra footage that was found recently.
Steve Allen show.
Is that what that's from? Oh, yeah. That's what it's from.
Yeah.
Or is that?
I think there's
another one. There's also the trailer.
Yeah, where there's a wider shot. Yeah.
So we'll talk. Yes, Rick. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, give us about 50 weeks. And
why is Barsky mystified about loving Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and not Ghost? It's simple, isn't it? Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman's a good, fun, pacey, stylish monster movie. Ghost of Frankenstein is turgid sludge. Barsky dragging in Sartre and existentialism is funny. In that vein, you should check out Bela Lugosi and the Monogram 9 by Gary Rhodes and Robert Guffey.
I'm just reading that now, and it's tough going.
Okay. You ask, why does Tom call Dwight Fry's character Rudy? Why Rudy, Bill? Well, probably because that's the name of his character in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman.
Yes,
easy peasy.
That's right.
And then he says, Dwight Fry, a drunk? I'm searching my memory, and I don't think I've ever read that. And come on, Dwight had it tough enough. There's no need to pile on.
Yeah, very true.
He's talking about the Mummy. I think we got it. I think we've covered it.
What about the Mummy?
As to the Karloff flashback footage showing up in however many of the Mummy movies, well, Buckwheat, Tom Weaver wrote this in his Scripts from the Script book on the mummy's
from
hand.
the crypt. But
Yeah.
yeah.
If you're a
it's-
Universal Horrors mega fan who regularly
it's-
revisits all the flagship monster series, then mathematically the Mummy flashbacks must be the scene you've seen the most times by far because you view it 3 times in each Mummy marathon.
And
so is it in the Mummy's hand?
Yeah.
And then it's in the next one.
It's Mummy's tomb.
And then is it in the next one? No, that's enough right
that's
there.
those two. Yeah.
And I guess it's a flashback in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always a flashback.
Yeah.
It is a flashback in the Mummy.
That's what I mean.
What's not commented on is that in the Mummy's hand, the footage used in the Mummy's hand and the Mummy's tomb is alternate takes that weren't used in the Mummy.
Oh, okay.
They're alternate takes. In fact, even from Mummy's hand to tomb, there are some alternate takes.
And I think
and
this
Weaver
is
does point those out in the scripts from the Crypt book as well.
That's cool. I think we're going to have more to say on that topic quite soon in this film.
Yes.
I think those are alternate takes, right? Some of them? Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I'm not going to comment yet.
Oh, okay. Good. Good for us. No comment. All right, so that's that one.
Okay.
Chuck from Winnipeg posted in response to our recent episode, West Visaria Side Story. I love that title, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Just the way it looked like a still from...
He posted bunny, ellipses, ball, ball. Bunny, ellipses, ball, ball. I feel like I should put the envelope up to my head. And then we open the envelope
Karnak,
to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Well, then, okay.
Well, thanks for your comment, Chuck.
Then I've got to say, bunny,
ball. Yeah, keep repeating it. Yep, that's it.
What's the joke then?
I don't know. I thought I'd throw it out and see if we can find something.
I'm sorry, Chuck. I don't get the reference.
All right, well,
Anyway.
he's probably smarter than us, which is not.
That's not.
Which is much less of a
That's setting the bar pretty
yeah,
low.
than you might think. Okay.
All right.
Over.